WesWes Show.
All right, Alofa, welcome back to another episode of the 135 Footy Show, part of the WesWes Network. Jump straight into it. I'm welcomed by the brothers here. How's it going, Tama? One of our number one Panther supporters. How's it going, mate?
Well. How's it going,
Fortunately,
fellas?
joined by George as well, all the way from Brisbane. Up the doggies, mate. How's it going, Us?
Hey, Supples. Thanks for having me on, Us. Yeah, good, man. Tough year for the doggies, but on the rebuild. 2026 is the plan.
We'll get to that, mate. We'll get to that. And you worry. And welcome back to our WesWes Network columnist, Simon Amani. How's it going, Us?
Malo boys, yeah, good, thanks, tons. Thanks for
Been a
having
while,
me,
bro.
man. Malo George. Yeah, been a while, bro. Thanks for having us, man. Welcome to all the listeners.
Man, let's get straight into it. It's been 2 more rounds to go, and yeah, you don't really need to look for much to talk about with some intense games coming down to the wire. Last week, probably a really crucial game for a number of teams. Every single game, I think, worked into the calculators, and so everyone was, especially Cams. I know he was in the background trying to run his calculator to see if his team could make it into the 8. Kicking off last week, the Sharks and the Cowboys, crucial for both teams. I think this was one of those ones that probably is going to work on the calculator. 32 being the magic number. The Sharks won this game 32-12, putting them now on 32 points, having a nice run to the end. What are your thoughts, boys? Tama?
Yeah, well, I thought it's one that the Cowboys, they really needed a win. I mean, because they need to win every game at the moment. But Sharks just coming into some form after the Panthers spanked them. You know, they've been pretty much on a tear. But that's Nico Hines. He carves up the lower 8 teams. But yeah, I thought the Sharks looked all right.
Mm-hmm. George, do you catch any of that game? What are you thinking of the Sharks' run at the moment?
Yeah, I think they're a bit hot and cold, eh? Like it's hard to judge them, bro. Like 1 week they turn up, and then the next is like they're one of the bottom 8 teams again. But yeah, no, I think not the form team going into the final rounds, but I guess just doing enough to stay up there.
Man, so they guys on 3 on the trot. What do you thought? You've always said all season, man, these guys always spank the lower 8 teams. Last 3 teams they beat are the Rabbits, which are going poor, Titans, and Cowboys now.
Yeah, bro, it's good. It's been a bit of a up and down season, eh? But they're on the way up again, bro. But man, they've done well to get a bit of form, bro. I think when they got rid of a couple, they made a few changes, bro, up on the left hand side. But the biggest change they made was in the halves, bro. When they brought on Trindle, and even on attack, I think he's kind of off a bit more direction, eh? And allows Nico Hines to get a bit wider on the edges, bro. So man, they're done once to get what they are, but I still have them where I had them like kind of mid-season, or sort of like good enough to get a few wins. But like when it comes down to the top 4, they're probably just outside that bubble way. But just for me, it was more disappointing. The Cowboys, man. I keep picking them when they start playing Gaia, man. But they got the offense to beat anyone, man, on their day. That's why I still don't think mathematically they can get there, bro. I think it's a couple of miracles now. The Panthers and amongst their last 2 games.
Yeah.
Well, they got a bye or not, but yeah, disappointing from the Cowboys, especially at home, to get beaten by their scores. So I don't know. I wouldn't put a line through either team, though, man.
Mm-hmm. Probably just a shout out to Braden Hamlin-Welle, man, coming into some awesome form. Yeah, whether they go on to play finals, but man, looking at internationals, if he's not pushing for that Kiwi side, we didn't mention him in there, but man, hopefully he puts his hand up for Samoa.
Solly's LSD boy or what?
Yes, Ross's son, Solly. Yeah,
Ross's boy? Did he go listen?
think he did. Oh, I don't know actually. He
No,
was
he did
young.
it. I saw him go back and visit.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years
I just
back.
remember
Blame him
coming to
anyway,
touch
man.
back those Beauchamp days, and he was up there. He was just a little kid, just running around. Man, all right. Yeah, I think Cowboys sitting on 28 points. Yeah, 2 games to go.
So you got
Doable.
the Cowboys, Roosters, and
It's just that
Rabbitohs
Panthers game to
in
finish
the
with.
same, all aiming for the 8th spot, I reckon.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe Raiders. But they are 28 now as well. So later.
The Raiders are already in there. So the Raiders are already in the. They're on 32. The
Oh,
Sharks
yeah.
on 32.
32's the
Um,
mark, eh?
yeah, yeah. You got Cowboys and Roosters sitting on 28 with 2 games to go. There's two
Yeah.
outside of the 8 currently
Yeah,
that
that
can
that really
push.
is your question, man. Which one of
Hmm.
those 3 teams is going to get that spot, eh?
Exactly.
Because Nardens look too hot. They'll keep winning.
All
Yo,
right.
not
First game of Friday night. The Warriors Eagles. You catch this one, Tuma?
Yeah, I did actually because I've been a big Warriors believer this year. I jumped on the bandwagon early. I predicted top four back when they were middling the table. I thought the Warriors were going to be a top four team. Some people didn't believe me, but I saw the Webby effect. I think the mark of a good team, the Warriors, they played terrible at times on that game, but they still came away with the win. So I reckon that just shows how good the Warriors are. I think they could have played a lot better than they did. I think, um, but the fact they came away with the win, if you go back a couple of years, Warriors probably go into their shell a bit and then get pumped by 20. But this year was a bit different, you know. The Warriors, just riding the magic, and I reckon there was a good win for them, one that they'll take, because if you get wins like that, just imagine when they're firing.
George, you watched the game?
Yeah, I watched the whole game, also. Yeah, no, I thought it was yeah, it was a okay performance from the Warriors, but like they also said, yeah, they it's a mark of a good team, well coached team if they can still pull off the win when they're not quite getting things right. But I think they're playing off some their forwards, man. They're getting
Mm.
some good go forward. Like a lot of their sets, man, is like 30, 40 plus meters. And it's all off the back of Adam Fanor Blake. I think he's having a standout season, and it's just allowing the guys like Johnson and Metcalf to do their thing and set up
Mm-hmm.
their backs out wide, especially Dallin. But yeah, no, they're all. I think they're peaking just at the right time. They're going to be one of the teams to watch out for if, come finals time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I probably wrote off Manly last week, saying they played their final against the Panthers, but man, they came to win. That their season was on the line. That would have put them onto 28 points as well. So that was a crucial game, and they threw everything in there. So yeah, like you're saying, Thomas, just that a messy game and to come out with a win. Um, so I know you had some issues with this game, but well, overall as a game, where do you think this puts the Warriors? Do you think it is a
dude, I
tester,
don't
or you think these aren't really helping their run to the final?
know. Mate, if I was a Warriors fan, I'd be a bit worried, eh? Because it wasn't a very convincing win for me. They should have
That's
really
why you're
put away.
not a fan, man. That's
They
why
should
you're
have
not
put
a
away a
Warriors fan.
poor Manly outfit. They were quite poor. Any other, but in saying that, man, Manly opened them up a few times, quite easily as well. Now the only thing I want to mention from that game is I was just noticing a bit of getting the run of the calls with the refs, especially the Warriors team, and it just showed at the end there that it was quite poor from the NRL to not punish Chanze Nickel Clockstaff for that tackle in the air on Oifoi, Carlo Fai Scummo
Garrick.
or Garrick, bro.
Two charge him
And
with what?
now it's come up that he's seriously injured
Broken
now.
back, man.
I
It's a
broke my
terrible,
back.
unfortunate accident. But I don't know what
So,
you're angry at the Warriors and the ref about.
bro, that should be a penalty all day of the week.
It's the letter of the law.
That should be a send off.
Oh, why?
2 points, kicking off in the front.
Because he had an accident and he unfortunately fell on his back.
Nah, he attacked someone in the air. That's for me. That's
for the 1% of times that people jump in the air like that, you want to change the rules and penalise them. Mate, if you want to focus on people and safety, what about these head clashes?
George, that's not a penalty in your book?
I think you need to take your Broncos lens off.
Oh, wow. So is everyone jumping on the bandwagon now with the Warriors?
Mate, no, everyone's just read the rule book, mate. I don't know what unless you got an appendix to your NRL rule book, mate.
There's some top-level hating by Simon there.
There was no need for him to attack the ball carrier. Unless it was
accident.
You know,
mate, the ball's on the bounce. He's just trying to see you guys like, oh, you're going for the ball.
Accident. I wouldn't call that an accident, man.
Mate, the refs are seeing everything.
Yeah.
2 minutes before that, they put up. You see, Olokalatu goes beyond 180. Not even he ducks his head and he gets a soft penalty.
Well, they make a big stand about
2 points. They would have won that if Garrick just kicked the two just before.
Where does that fit in player safety? You know what I mean?
Oh, it's an accident, mate. Same as when two guys hit each other on a tackle, both head clash, one goes off. HIA, it's unfortunate, but you don't penalise the guy who accidentally headbutt him. Maybe in union you do, but not in our game.
But you do if that guy stays down.
Not in this. Not in
stays down, and then all of a sudden you see a little bit of a shoulder, nowhere near the chin,
shoulder on head, mate. Those are the rules.
Similar instance, different thing, but anyway, I'm willing to move on from that. But there's data there for getting a bit of the calls.
So all of a sudden, the Warriors are getting all the calls now. Is this the conspiracy? I mean, there's
I reckon they're getting the 50-50 since their major sponsor made that big whinge.
See, that's why you've been reading the tea leaves, mate. I heard that little whisper come out months ago. See, the tea leaves have finally drifted over to the Gold Coast.
And this is not hating, and I'll be the first to say, I'm really sorry, Warriors fans. In my first article, I got it wrong. I picked them not making the 8, like in their 9th,
like 10th, mate.
Still having a good year. So they surprised me. And it was all on the back of Sean Johnson, bro. He's doing well because the forwards laying the platform. And they get down the field easy, bro. They'll get at least 50-60% of their ball, bro. They'll be hard to beat.
Underrated is their outside backs, like carrying out of their own half. Because they're big boys.
Yeah, bro. Well, it's four horse race for me, bro. Yeah. Any one of those four can win it from here.
Nice, mate. All right, going on to the other Friday night game. Man, Eels season on the line with this game against the Roosters. I didn't even after Stacey Rapp Simonson last week. I don't know what that performance was he put on the weekend. You guys catch this Roosters performance?
I think they just miss Mitchell Moses. They really
once Moses went off, that was their season, man. I watched that game, bro. It was. I don't know if it was Roosters are just like getting good or whether Eels just a bit short on troops.
Well, yeah.
That result pretty much done Eels for the season. Sorry, I don't know, bro, about you, man, but you got star players in that Roosters team, bro. So you never know, man. They could time a run.
Teddy's coming right at the right time too. Look at Teddy and Swali, man.
There's still a bit of tries in that squad, man. The firepower on the pack.
You guys got Roosters making a late run. 2 games to go.
I reckon Roosters will make the 8.
Hey, because it all comes down to that last game. I think that should be an awesome one. That Rabbits game.
That last game, provided they get past the Tigers this week.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I just don't know. Last 3 games they won.
Of course
they beat Manly, Dolphins, and now this poor Eels team. I just don't know if it's the Roosters that looks like Roosters on paper again, or if it's just the teams that they've been playing.
Maybe one of those Whangangamea teams that just creep in the 8, and then You never know what happens in the
You
eight, man.
never know from there, eh?
Well, that's the thing. That's why these teams, Roosters or Rabbits, they make the eight. They become different teams. Um, hello, Fi.
Yeah,
I'll
they're
put
one
a
of
line
those
through
teams
the
that
Put
got
a
Roosters.
like
bet on, put some money on it. Man, imagine if
Even
these
if
guys
they
came
make the
through.
8, they're not making noise. I put a line to the Roosters. They can't do
Nice.
anything in the finals. If the
Eesh.
Rabbits make it, they can make noise. But I feel like the Roosters
Well,
not
bro, it's come
going
down. It's come
to.
down to that last game of the season, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Out of those two,
depending
who
on
goes through?
Tigers.
If the Cowboys don't win against the Panthers, which is pretty much likely anyway, that's the game of the season, bro. To figure out the eight, it's those two.
Mm.
Because remember, 2 points already for the bye, and then that's their last game, the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, like you're saying, some of the Roosters, I don't know where they have that's what breaks down. You get confidence from the Rabbits knowing Cody's there, but
Yeah. What do you think about the Rabbitohs, bro? Like, how now I don't know now teams are starting to lose, and media starts jumping up on them, but there's also getting a bad rep. Some journalists came out and said in a video session that Latrell yells out to Cameron Murray, "Yeah, this is where you got to give me the ball, mate. Just give it, mate." And he was like, "Well, you're not there all the time." That's how they quoted it. It was like,
I saw that.
yeah. And you know what else is added to the This was a bit
but
also a
what
bit.
they heard him saying that on the field when they were running.
Oh, I don't know how true the
No,
quoting the
no, it's
video.
a video session.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, they're
Apparently.
sitting down talking about the video session.
oh, and just
But
watching like when
but
he's
but what my thing is that there's also the news yesterday of Sam Burgess finishing, and this is the fucking assistant coach. So there's a lot of drama happening at the Rabbitohs right now, man.
Yeah,
And it
but
all
he's
Yeah,
boils
it's
down to
finished up
one.
immediately, yeah.
Yeah, bro, because
Done
he
for
was
the
the
season.
one quoted with John Morris, who's another assistant coach, as talking about how Dimitrios gives them a bit too much power and a bit easy on them. Walker but you're right, they've been underperformed the last couple of games. Walker and
man. As
Latrell.
soon as
Latrell's
the on-field
been,
performances start going like this,
yeah,
these are the smoke and mirrors that start
yeah,
coming
yeah.
out.
That's the kind
And
of stories that come out, but they
yeah,
still haven't performed. And I think Latrell's been a bit disappointing with his injuries and
return from
stuff,
his
man.
injury, yeah,
His
yeah.
calves, yeah. You can't do much when you're not there. I don't think he played bad on the weekend. I still think they're capable, so who knows?
Nice. All right. The Tigers Dolphins, the Uppy Carousel show. Man, this was a good game. A lot of back and forth. Dolphins were right in this. I don't know if you guys caught this one. Man,
I actually
Uppy,
didn't catch. I just saw Uppy's kick at the end,
the
and I
kickoff.
heard, his goal from the 40 meter
Oh, from the
kick.
sideline. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he kicked it
yeah,
40
yeah,
meters, 10 centimeters.
yeah.
I
So
think.
that was a close game. Um, Jermaine landed the field goal, and then yeah, just for the kickoff to finish that game, Uppy lands this hook kind of kickoff
Mm,
back to his winger on the far side.
yeah,
But see
they've been
that
really.
if that was a big game, so they try to drag him, and he's scared of the sideline and throws the ball in, and they get a penalty. Uppy kicks to win the game. Now, if that wasn't two battle teams that no one cares about, if this
Oh
was
yeah,
like to get
sorry.
into the eight,
But I didn't realize it was that set, that
yeah.
very set that got him the.
So that's the
the
thing.
kick.
From the kickoff, he gets dragged, he gets scared and throws the ball in. He doesn't get dragged into touch, but then the ref goes, boop, he throws it
Mm.
because the ref called Howard. And after Howard, he throws the ball. So
Oh,
this
so
should be a
that's
bit.
one.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So he should have been like, usually it's just like grab the ball, play the ball.
Play the ball,
Because he's
yeah.
not taken out, but the ref calls a penalty, they kick. See? But these are just like by the by because no one cares about these below the eight kind of games. But man, these are those kind of inconsistent ones that people don't talk about. That's a big deal. If that was a big game, someone to get into the eight. If that was the Manly Warriors game, now everyone's blowing up about that. Like a silly thing that straightforward penalty. I don't know. Either way, you kind of go, oh, yeah, it's a penalty. Other side, you probably go, well, why is that a penalty? But
But that's
I
one of the
guess,
inconsistencies. I think
uh,
that's one that gets called either way every time, bro.
mm,
Like some refs will let it go and tell them to play the ball. And then you see some blow the penalty, but that's, I guess, just what happened in the weekend.
Yeah,
So I
no,
guess it's
exactly.
finding that consistency in the refs calls.
Yeah, especially just that, because most times, if you accidentally pass it after the held call, sometimes you can't hear it, and the rest like, oh, yeah, just roll the ball. So yeah, I guess no one's blowing up about it because it's kind of a game that didn't matter in the bigger scheme of things. But yeah, I think it's just those kind of calls. Just
Just
highlights.
because
I guess
it's
the ref can't get them all right. There's just so much to see.
I think the difference is there's no outrage. That's. I think the refs are gonna make mistakes every game. You just don't have people yelling "pin ref" or all that kind of rubbish because there's two teams that aren't really at the top.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I mean, especially with a Wayne Bennett coach team, he knows the rules. He'd probably be over that all day. But in the bigger scheme of things and where his team is, he's not blowing up like Seaball. All right, on to bigger and better things. The Panthers versus the Titans. Man, the Titans started good. Cleese Haas, I thought, Titans, they're gonna do it, and the Panthers just need a rest. They don't want that run, but man, you guys are on 8 on the trot, Tama.
Yeah. Well, the score line was I think it was 40-18, and I think the 40 points was a bit flattering for the Panthers. I think they
You still
yeah.
confident, mate? Three feet is it coming
Oh, I
or what?
mean the ebbs and flows of the season. I mean I've seen it for the past two um premiership runs. Stuff like this happens. I think we're due for a loss before the grand final, whether it comes in the next 2 weeks or first week of the finals. I think Panthers are due for a loss, but I think the Titans they played really well. Like the, I think you look at their team and they're pretty stacked. You know they got Brimo, Fifita,
Hmm.
Tino, and then the halves aren't all that bad. Jaden Campbell's on the come up, so I think they played really well, and I think the Panthers were a bit flat as well. But like I said, like same as the Warriors, it's a mark of a good team when you can kind of not perform to your best but still come away with the win.
Yeah.
But I think the 40 point scoreline was a bit flattering for the Panthers. Should have been much closer than it was. And the
I
Titans
feel
put
like you guys are just
both.
doing what you have to do, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like even like your big guys haven't even stood up yet. Like Luai and Cronum, they haven't really thrown the ball around too much, bro. So yeah, watch for those guys, man. Once Cleary, his kicking, they've just been doing what they do, man. Like Cleary kicking and the back three
yeah.
making up all the meters, man.
I think it's just a typical Panthers play style where the back five do a lot of the head ups, get a lot of yards, and then
Yeah,
um,
bro. I
not
think the Panthers is going to
yeah,
be the team to introduce that, like, for a winger now. Couple of
yeah,
hundred your minimum now, bro, for meters, bro. If you want to be a winger in NRL, fullback, you're going to pump out these numbers and your pack will be good for it, man. So how
yeah.
much work they do, eh?
Warriors started that style of play years ago, man.
I think it's the play style
On the
there,
back
eh?
of money, they had a few beasts, but not
Yeah,
like not like a team, a unit, like three of them. Taruva, they haven't lost anything with Taruva.
Man,
yeah.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
notice
I
it's
mean,
just
Taruva's just stood up. He's been
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
but Dylan Edwards, bro, he's just one of those fullbacks, bro, that just brings the ball back like numbers all the time. And he's starting to add a few, bursts to his arrow. So
I think
luckily for the comp, yeah,
the other thing that the with the backs making so many yards is it just means like the forwards they can get down there for the kick and then
Mm,
just ultra quick line speed. So I reckon like on when they pin them in their 20, they kind of keep them there, so they're always winning the territory battle. I mean
yeah.
that's a Cleary mainstay there. So uh,
I think Sai brought up like a good point like during the week with the back three making like 150 plus meters each. Like
Hmm.
it's taking that pressure off the forwards, and then like you look at their forwards, like
Mm.
a lot of them are averaging like around that 100. Like some of them not even
Mm,
cracking the
Yeah,
100.
yeah. No, it's just their
So
DA.
yeah, it's just
Just
their
slowing down
defense.
that ruck, getting people on their
bro,
backs
that
every time.
when they got
Mm.
that Fisher Harris, Leota, and
Yeah.
they're Glogger in there, but they usually have what's his name? Is it Mitchell?
Mitch Kinney.
Mitch Kinney. Those three, man, they probably got the quickest line speed of any team in the NRL, bro. And that's what
Oh,
probably
yeah,
makes
Liam Martin, bro. He just shoots up and breaks
yeah.
everything he touches. That guy's
Him and Hosking.
can't
Hosking
stand
was a
him.
bad loss for the Broncos, but he's worked his way up to the starting second row, ain't Tom?
Mm.
Yeah, I think he's in the 17. I don't know
Garner's in
where
our bench now.
he's gonna 17. I think he'll
Mm.
be
Mm,
number 17,
yeah,
Hosking, when Sorrow and um things back. I reckon it's just the way that the Panthers play that they 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 have to be kind of fast
yeah.
and
I
they've
still
got
think of Panthers. I still think Warriors Pack could roll them down. Could even dominate, bro. If it got to that, that's how I reckon they'll be beat. In
Mm.
Broncos as well. If they what I mean dominate is make sure those back three they don't run big meters, man. You gotta
Yeah.
move their pack around, man.
It's easier said than done, though. It's getting that because you got to stop them, and then also just like I was saying against the Storm, that game they played just their front foot.
Uh,
It's trying to slow them down, and when
Kick
every
and
single
chase, man.
player,
I was like kick and
yeah,
chase.
yeah, yeah,
You
you've
just
got to
kick
trying to change it up.
those first three tackles, bro. That's
It's
where the
not a
Panthers get
Garrett kick and
damaged.
chase.
But they're kind of like a weigh you down team, man.
Yeah. Some of you were saying they need a drop one. Is that so the record is 11 all the way to the final. Stace talked about it last week. If you guys go all the way unbeaten to the grand final, that's 13. So you guys are breaking records. You guys are a record breaking team, but you feel like they need a drop one. Why?
yeah, because the last time we had a run this good to the grand final, we lost. So I'm
That was the
just
Melbourne year.
yeah, it was the Melbourne year.
Mm.
But I also think the way he's gonna rest some dudes. So there's a loss, and I
That
see they're
Cowboys game.
playing the. I think that might be the Eels game, because the Eels are a bogey team for the Panthers. Every time they play the
They're not
Panthers,
scared of the
the Eels grow another arm and leg, and
yeah.
then they play the other teams in the kind of
That's
velo.
just
So
sad to the Eels, though, because these guys ready for their Mad Monday anyway. You
yeah,
guys, no
yeah.
calculator can help them anymore. So I don't know. It's just sad to just drop this one, but yeah, they probably could because I
I
think
think
these
if
guys
they drop
already been started drinking at training.
I think they'll drop either the Eels or the Cowboys game. If they drop the Eels game, they'll pump the Cowboys. If they drop the Cowboys game, it will be because
It's
they.
also a possibility they could drop both games, bro. And then
Oh,
it's what panic
no.
stations or
Never, 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 never in a million years. This is a team that's steeled for the finals. They are a finals
Yeah,
team.
yeah. Any two weeks of the season left. Any concerns about injuries? Any kind of key players? You guys have done it without Cleary over the season normal. So
Well, I've been watching the Panthers side. There's been no West Fund injury update from Pete Green and the physio team there, but what I've noticed is
we're going deep into
they
the locker room now, man.
That's they're bringing in Tango slowly. He probably could play the next last week or before, but I think they're just kind of
No rush,
nursing
no
him back
rush.
slowly. Yeah, same with Lingu, just bringing him back slowly. Just like you don't really want to play them too much. I think with Mitch Kinney too, they're kind of resting him because of his play style is quite physical and energetic. So just leave him out for the next week or bring him back for the Cowboys. They still got Cogger there. I think it just timing their run,
Mm.
making like man management is pretty good over there at the moment. So I think not too many injuries to like worry about. Obviously Taylor and me, but that was
Mm.
already known.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they just gearing up
Yeah,
gearing
that
up for
seemed
the
like it was going to
finals.
be a big one, but man, Saruva's just made a name for himself.
Yeah, and then May's probably gonna shift into the centers next year.
Ish,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, kind of still a bit of stability there in the back line with
Mm.
Critter gone.
You were you this confident in 2021, or you just Mimika because it might be 3 years now?
Oh, I was just confident in 2008 when we ran dead last, and the Raiders put 72-10 on us in the centenary year of league. I was this confident. I've always been this confident in the Panthers. Blind faith, some might call it, but it's matter of faith.
Yeah, we've got plenty more weeks to wrap the Panthers, mate. Let's move on to the Dragons Storm. Important game too. Just watching the Dragons last week for the Warriors this week. You catch this one, Si? You see the Storm game?
Yeah, bro, I did. It's a bit too little, too late for the Dragons. Hey, if you look at their record, haven't been they've lost a lot of close games, man. A lot of games that could have gone either way, man, and they've been able to stay in the fight. But Storm a little bit concerning, man. They got put 28 points. It was a high scoring game. But yeah, Storm were always going to win it. Dragons just the defensive woes, man. They're showing all year. That's probably where they've let themselves down. But nah, for the Storm, it's like they still haven't hit their straps, but you don't want to count them out, eh? So I kind of could say that they did what they had to do in that game.
George, what do you liking about the Storm? You reckon you're gonna have a good run in? They're sitting fourth at the moment.
Nah, I think they're one of the teams that if they do make the top four, they're going to be one of the teams that bow out week 2.
Wow.
Good call.
Yeah.
They still got Pappenhausen to come, Moose.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to save
not
them.
seeing the connections, man.
You don't think?
Yeah, I don't know. Like they just haven't been Storm of old. But in saying that, bro, they're sitting at
Because they won a
fourth,
comp they won a comp with their spine, Pappenhausen, Grant, Jerome Hughes, and
correction. It was Kim Smith.
Yeah, I don't.
Wasn't it the one? Wasn't that the one that Penrith lost?
Yeah. Cheated out of that hairy-chested Queenslander. You know, he just came.
Grant would have been there on the bench.
He
would have been there on the bench.
He was with the Tigers that year.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we got cheated out of that. We should be looking at a 4-peat, not 3 in a row.
Some hate there.
Yes.
Lingering hurt.
That was one of those ones you guys had to lose to win one. But what I'm saying is, like, they still got a champion spine, man. And if their forwards get going, if they can defend,
you don't believe in that spine, George? Yeah.
Spine wise, yeah.
2012.
Yeah, probably still a bit of that. But then, I just think they've lost a bit too much in their forward pack. All the boys that have gone on to Dolphins.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So a lot of experience there up front. But this was, I think it was an interesting game because at one point I think Dragons were up 18-6. So it was a bit of a scare, but it was lucky for home. What's his name? Jerome Hughes and Eliasa Katoa, who brought them home. Yeah, he saved those guys saved them in the end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Katoa got 2. Yeah, I'm pleased for him. Just seeing another Kiwi, another Warriors boy. Kind of get taken under the Storm wing, looked after, under that Bellamy kind of mold. So, all the best to him. Hopefully, he does well. And
do you think that was a good call, letting go of him for Neil Kore?
Yeah, bro.
Well, you guys paid $800,000 for Neil Kore, man.
Yeah, worth every cent, mate. So, I think he's fair game why he's starting in front of Ricky as well.
I think the Storm...
He showed on the weekend, he can cover centre if he needs to.
I think the last game of the round before the Storm is the Bronx. And I reckon with the inexperience of the Bronx versus the experience of the Storm, the winner of that game will get a lot of confidence and probably go on to win the comp.
I feel like the Broncos will go hard.
Before the finals.
Yeah, on that game, especially against the Storm. Yeah. Especially if Paps plays in that game, Broncos will go hard.
It's still a good game for the Broncos to drop as well. Because they could drop against the Storm in the last game of the year, but still...
trying to put the Broncos in the conversation. We're not at the Broncos, mate. You had a bye. There's no conversation about the Broncos this week because you had a bye. And no way you're trying to bring your team into the conversation.
I'm talking about the Storm here.
I think the
Broncos... Because the Storm can go on a run. The Storm can go on a run. I was just saying that's crucial last game of the season, just before the finals.
I think the Broncos will turn up real. They'll turn up for that game. They'll try really hard to win the next two and hope the Panthers drop one. Because this is their first chance at some kind of silverware for like, what, 10, 15 years? And it's been a while since there's been anything in their Broncos trophy cabinet. I think this is a.
Yes, yes. Just like you guys, just before the run of three, when Petro went down to 2008 and helped out your losing team. I know, but wasn't that long ago, bro? The Spoongy Lao 2 years, and then the fucking NRL Premiership 2 years later, bro. So, but hey, I didn't bring them up top. Let's move on. I want to hear George's doggies here, man.
We'll get to them. Yeah, that was the last game of the round. Second to last game of the round, the Sunday game. The disappointing Rabbitohs against the Knights are firing. Man, what are your thoughts on this side? You saw this one?
Yeah, I think this is like the lights. The Knights are added a bit of a spanner in the works for the comp because looking at their choice, bro, Ponga, he'll run around anyone on their day, bro, and open anyone up on the left hand side. Just the way they've been able to give him the ball on the edges. They got the pack too, man. Safiri brothers, they're not bums, man. So they make a nice comeback, bro. It was disappointing on the Rabbitohs. We touched on their off-field stuff, but they almost put a half line through them for me. But man, go the Knights also. I wouldn't want to be getting them in the finals, eh? While they're on this run. I don't know whether it's enough to go all the way, but bro, there's going to be a few upsets with the Knights team.
Yeah, Kalen Ponga is going real good. Tama, did you see these guys rip up?
Yeah, I saw the game, and I've been following. I think the Knights, coming home with a wet sail. I think they say they just run into a good vein of form. I reckon with the ever since they lost to the Panthers, and Welch made that comment, I think they've just been. I think they haven't lost since. And I think
that's been their run.
That's true.
Yeah, these guys are on another good run. I think they're on 6 on the chart as well. 7.
They're
So
like
Welsh make that
Yeah, how did they lose to the Panthers?
Welsh made that comment for the doggies one week.
Yeah.
They might have gone on a run.
Yeah, but I reckon the Knights, like, the signs were there early in the season. They pushed the Panthers a couple of times, and they had a few good wins. I think once they just got a bit of consistency, I think they're one to watch, like a dark horse. Just marching up the tail. I reckon they can make some noise in the finals. But
and their forwards are just coming right. Bloody Frizzell there in the middle is looking real good. But
I forgot to mention Lil. Is it
Lil Thompson?
Lil Thompson, man.
Yeah, he's been gone.
Him and the Safiri brothers, but he's been the standout of
I reckon
the
pull him into your NRL.
I think he's from back home as well. So good young Islander boy coming through the ranks at the Knights, man.
Yeah, well, their forwards are coming right. Phoenix Crosland, man, just steadying that middle too. That little chip through that he did on the weekend for Sofiki, man. He was a good pickup.
They're talking about him. He was a half. They put a halfback originally. Just put him in there.
Yeah. Chucked him in at hooker just to try and help out. And that's man. Yeah, he's just got just good because that kicking game is a half. He's just got a nice little short kick in there.
I think most teams, bro, like the top teams, your hooker is your ball player in the ruck,
Yeah, that's
he can free up so much space for the runners.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got like a tough, like halfback who can handle up front, you'd throw him in. You know what they do with Ben Hahn.
Yeah.
Most teams got a good 9.
Well, look at when Sonny Luke's playing well, man. Like, I like him when you guys still play him off the bench, Tomo, but man, if you can get him to start.
I think the issue with Sonny Luke is defense.
Yeah, he's light,
He's light.
Just because he's small, he'll grow. Yeah. The Rabbits, though, that's that again put a real dent in their run. So they should have been a shoo-in with the bye this week. That would have put them on 32. Now they're doing the maths as well, and that last game becomes crucial for them. But yeah, you don't see them. Well, you guys have all seen them as a threat. they get in. Latrell, reports of him looking pretty lazy, blaming his injury.
I think if
That
the Rabbits,
lazy, I don't even know what he was trying to do to Frizzell when he came in with that elbow.
Yeah, he's got to get that out of his game, eh? And that's why he attracts those fucking bad racist comments, because he's always got a
just the
little
mongrel side.
shot
Yeah,
in the
just
main.
doing the little.
Yeah.
He
Well, it's
needs to go
interesting
see.
because I thought like this year he'd turn a corner and like
Mm-hmm.
him and Cody, both of them, like I thought they'd turn the corner and they'd clean up their game, but then Latrell comes out with this. So I thought, yeah, it was a
Latrell
bit.
stopped going
Bro,
to the
they both
sessions. They had
they're
they had
both
specialist sessions, and Cody kept going,
yeah.
and Latrell went
Well,
walkabout.
even Cody got paying for a few penalties this year. He's a bit all gutted too, but
he's
you know when it
super
comes
low
down,
money, that guy, bro.
when it comes down to this team where they went wrong, when they fucking dissed Adam Reynolds,
Yeah.
and they didn't give them the 3 years,
Ever since
and
they
they
got rid
needed
of Reynolds,
Fair
they
call.
needed they needed the leadership in there,
hard
bro.
out.
To come and tell
Guacamole now.
these old guys, hey, fuck, I'm running the show, mate.
Sure.
I'll pass the ball to you, mate.
You look how the way
Yeah,
Reynolds played in that Broncos game against them. Every time he's just playing with that passion, like this is what you gotta have.
I think there might be like a power battle on the field between Walker and Latrell. Because Latrell's not that. Latrell's not. He really is a six, bro. He doesn't do the yards bringing the ball back. He's always passing it to his wingers,
I
or
don't
even
know, bro,
stays on.
because
Nah.
I
I
think
think he
early on in the
listens
year
to the
they got it
hype
right.
too much. He just listens to the media say that he can do 8 runs in a game and do miracles. So he
Because in the
tries to
list
just
of
do 8
fullbacks, where would
runs.
you put him? Where would you put him? Top five? I
Who,
wouldn't put
Latrell at
him.
the
I'll put him
moment?
five. Yeah,
5.
Well, he
5, and
going.
I'll easily find another 4. I'll go Reese, Kalen,
because you got two
Teddy,
ball
Johnson.
players.
Edwards.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is like maybe his best spot is the centre, or like get Cody Walker to play 7, play the kicking game, and Latrell just comes in at 5'8" on the left. But I don't know. I don't think that team needs a lot more out of those two guys, man. And for me personally, I put a red line through them already.
I think Cody Walker and Latrell Mitchell in the halves.
They're just missing a good
Definitely.
7. Like if they had a strong 7,
Yeah.
Yeah,
then they can play
that's what
however
I
they
said.
want.
Reynolds. Did they drop the ball on the Reynolds or what?
You look
Yeah.
at Reese Walsh and Ezra. They'd be a Mickey Mouse show if they didn't have a strong 7.
Exactly. You got all this talent around you. You need a general, like an
Exactly.
organizer, man.
And then he just lets them do what they need to do when it's time to do it. But without it, then go play.
I don't know who's picking the Rabbitohs to get in there against the Roosters.
Not me.
The
I
trial's
think
not
it's
even in that game.
too much off-field crap too, eh? Well, we're talking about Sam Burgess in there,
Yeah,
and
strange timing, eh? Strange timing for this to happen. Right when they had the
Similar issues
worst.
between these teams, so it should be a good matchup because they, just haven't figured out their halves. The same with the Roosters after Cronk left. They didn't know what to do.
Walker's back this week because I see
Okay.
Simon drafted him into his team. So I saw.
Picking up the scraps.
no, I don't got Walker.
Oh, I'm gonna get him.
Oh,
Now.
Sam Walker.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Roosters.
I think it
You know what's
depends
funny?
on
Sorry, you go, George.
I think it depends on how the Rabbitohs take this week and all the stuff that's going on the media.
Yeah,
If they can look at that as motivation, I think they might get up next week. But it's hard to see it happening, man. Like this game, I think their completion rate was like below 60 or something.
yeah.
It was like,
What a game that's going to be, man. Rabbitohs Roosters last round.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, and rounding out the week, the Raiders continuing to just stay in the 8 as they've done all year against better looking doggy side. George, man, I will let you. I don't know what to do with your dog, so you can try and figure out what to do with it.
Tell us about their 10-year, 5-year plan.
5 year
was that
plan. Was
plan?
it
What's
5 year,
Reset,
5 year?
Gus got a plan? What's Gus's plan?
Brown paper bags, I heard.
Nah, you look at what he did with the Panthers, man, and look at where they are now. So I trust in Gus's plan, man. I believe he's got us moving in the right direction. Yeah, it's not showing in the results, but we always knew this year was going to be a rebuild. And it's hard to play footy when you got like 15, 16, 17 of your top 30 missing every week. So maybe something they need to look at in the physio department, or they're strengthening conditioning there, but a bit of softness in the boys at the moment. But
Come on,
this
George,
game...
we all get injuries, mate. We all get injuries, mate. Can't use that excuse.
Not as much as us, but I think I thought our boys did well to stay in that game. Toby Sexton's been pretty solid for us since transferring from Titans. I think he'll go well next year.
He's a good pickup, man.
Yeah, I think he's a good pickup. I think he was unlucky to miss out on an opportunity there at the Titans. But we're happy to have him. And so we'll have him and Matt Burton next year. So no, things are looking on the up. But like I said, 2026, that's us. But Raiders, man, they did enough, I thought, to I thought we gave them a bit of a scare, but they did enough to stay in the 8 there. Because I think a loss there might have hurt their chances of sneaking in.
Yeah, man, it's been a hard that Serraldo coming in to be your, that was the big talk, to be a defensive coach and getting, so
it's all part of Gus's plan.
Gus's
thing about Gus's plans, like he had one for the Warriors too, had one for the Panthers. They only seem to start working when he leaves.
Yeah.
He leaves, and then we got 4 in a row. And then he left the Warriors, and now they're one of the best teams in the comp. So,
because he comes in, builds their foundation, and then he's like, leave it up to you now.
I think
he might sue you for saying that, because everyone's going to be like, oh, no, we only want you for 1 year now. we don't need you to stick around for 5, mate. We need you to in and out.
Nah.
We can start winning.
But I think, you know what? I do trust Gus.
Yeah, trust him.
I think standout for the Raiders, though, like, especially across the year, is this Matthew Timoko.
Oh, yeah.
Timoko.
Yeah.
So like, he's been solid. I thought he might have been one of the bolters for the Blues. But definitely one to look for in the future.
He's from here,
keeps it up.
He's from Brussels.
Sure.
Yeah, Kiwi. But I think he's he might be New South Wales eligible.
Because I saw him training at Lovelock. We took the boys down to do some training last when the World Cup was on, and he was doing sprints down at Lovelock in Central.
He's built like a house, man.
Mate, he is.
And every run is 100, eh?
I picked him up as a free agent too, halfway during the year, man. I was surprised.
Yeah, the Raiders are sitting on 32 at the moment. That's the magic number. So basically, I have them sitting, they're 6th at the moment. You reckon they're gonna move down, or you got them staying?
They got the Broncos, and who they got?
I've got my top 5 locked in pretty much.
Because if they stay,
I've got my top 5 at the end of the round robin as Panthers, Broncos, Warriors, Storm.
I think they're in.
Knights in at 5th. And then 6th.
If the Rabbitohs get in, I think the Raiders might lose on points. But
I think that's the only thing that's hurting the Raiders is their points differential.
Yeah, they're in a negative differential. So Roosters or Cowboys could possibly pip them. Roosters more likely because of the draw. The Cowboys have the Panthers in their final matchup, which is probably crucial for them to round out the 8. But with 2 weeks to go, it makes the maths a lot easier. Who you guys seeing going into that those final 3 positions, 6, 7, and 8?
I say Knights. I'm going Knights into 5th.
Yep.
And Sharkies drop down to 6.
Yep.
If Roosters can get up, they'll sneak in, probably jump into 7th, and then that pushes
Raiders down to 8.
Maybe the Raiders down to 8. That's
the Roosters.
my
Nice.
Top 8.
Looking similar there.
Yeah, I think it's the Roosters in. I think just the only difference will be the Roosters over the Rabbits. as it is now.
Yeah,
As the table stands, and I think it'll be pretty much the same. Bit of movement around like the fifth and the sixth. But yeah, I think the top four is gonna look the same,
yeah.
and then I think the table will stay as it is, just with the
Just the Roosters
Roosters
bumping
over
it.
there. Yeah, Roosters will
Yeah.
bump the Rabbits.
So you see it any different from that with the top 8, bottom 4?
Yeah, I was just bringing up my I did a ladder predictor earlier on.
Yeah,
So my fifth Knights, sixth Sharks,
yeah.
seventh Rabbitohs, and eighth Cowboys. So exactly different
Oh,
who I was who I was picking before earlier.
uh,
Apparently, I must have picked the Rabbitohs to win against the Roosters. But more importantly, my and Tama, you called it as well, so it might be this game. Cowboys going to upset the Panthers. No, it's this game or the game after, but
final
um,
game.
yeah, that's where I see the Cowboys making it in.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, that makes the difference. Oh, wow. Hey, the Cowboys taking that Panthers game. Oh man, that could be a big one. All right, guys. Before we look at anything outside of the week that was, I just want to touch on the 8, and let's do some crystal balling into the finals. Our top 4: Broncos, um, Panthers, Warriors, and Storm. So likely to be Panthers, Storm. Who goes through?
I think. Wow, you know who I think.
Yeah,
I mean, I think this
anyone seeing it other than the Panthers going through in that first week?
because we've towed up the Storm twice this year. Full team. One we had Cogger out. Oh, one we had Cogger in. And I don't think the Storm are the Storm that we know. You know, the 3 contracts each, 2 power boats each Storm that we saw for so many years, you know? So I think that
Those
it's a
deals don't
different.
work anymore. Eh?
Yeah, I think the
Panthers go
Panthers.
through for the rest. All right.
Yeah.
And the other game, Broncos Warriors. Broncos at home against the Warriors. George.
Up the Wazooks.
Up the
Eesh.
wires.
Oh,
Up the
up the
wires.
wires. Sai, you guys gonna drop a game before the
Right.
final series, or you gonna
This
you
is
gonna do this at home?
you know what? You know the ones that I don't know if it's the ones that I go to, but it seems like the ones I go to, man, fuck, we've lost. But I think it's going to be high scoring, but Broncos
Hey,
in a close one.
Broncos in a close, high-scoring game. Okay,
You
so
know, Walsh is going to
Broncos
be the
go through.
difference.
Yeah. So out of those bottom 4 teams, I had the Knights and well, I had the Rabbits actually, but I don't know. Who do you guys think out of those 4 goes through to face the Storm and the Warriors or Bronx in the second week? We got Knights, Roosters, Raiders.
I got the Knights and the Raiders. I think the Roosters will be out first week, and the Sharks they'll also be out first week. I think, yeah, I'm not sold on the Sharks as a finals team. I don't, yeah, I don't rate them there. But and I think just the Knights form that they're coming into, I think that they'll be the difference. And also the Raiders, they're one of those teams that for some reason or other they always turn up in the first week of the finals. Like last year when they beat the Storm, they're one of those teams that they can just, yeah, they have one of those fluke, no, not fluke, but like one of those upsets always in there.
Right out. You see it any different, George? This guy's got Knights, Raiders going out from those first 4, the bottom 4.
Um, I think if I go by the teams I had in there, I'll probably go. I'd say Knights definitely.
Hey.
But then if Roosters make their 8, I think they sneak into week 2.
Oh, okay. You had the Roosters
Um,
in there for week 2.
yeah, so I think I had the Roosters sneaking into the 8th spot. But
Hey.
yeah, I reckon if they make the finals, they got enough experience and big game players to make a difference here.
Oh. So, out of those bottom four, who you seen going through?
Yeah, like the boys, I'm with the Knights. I can see them
Knights,
going on a run.
Knights all round.
I think Sharks too are coming to start a bit of a run on their own too. Not going to say they're going to make any like prelims or anything like that, but I think from the bottom teams they can make their next step up. And then it's just, man, you're in that last four.
You just finished saying the Sharks here. You still not sure about them now? All of a sudden they're going.
Well, I think
week 2 of the finals.
I think they got enough to get their ticket to the dance, but whether they get picked, whether Josh Schultz and Sandy at the end there or not, but they got their tickets to the Siva. You know what I mean?
All right. Week 2. So out of those, you got Storm Knights potentially, and maybe Warriors or Broncos versus Roosters, Raiders or Sharks. Who meets the Panthers and Broncos for week 3? Out of those, you got to find 2. Tama. Who ideally would you like to see before you have to see them in the final? Get rid of them before you go finals with them. Out of those
I think the Knights will make a run all the way to the prelims.
Hey.
I think they got there in that kind of form. I think
and
the
you'll
other
stop
side.
them. Panthers want to be the team to stop them.
I mean, I think it would be they would end up on the Broncos side or the Warriors side, and then I think the other final would be the Panthers versus the Warriors or the Broncos. Whoever lost the first week. That's my prediction.
Oh. So what you got? Who plays the Panthers and Broncos in that third week?
I'm going to say Sharks. Did you have Sharks as one of those teams?
Yeah, you brought the Sharks through to week 2. You going to take them on? Broncos going to take on the Sharks? Eesh. George, you see anyone else other than the Knights going through to that week 3? Bringing the Storm through and the Broncos.
Yeah, no, I think Knights are definitely just I think the team to beat at the moment. They've got a hot run of form. They've won their last 7 games. So, and then I think the Warriors will still be in there.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Final week. Out of all that, anyone else putting Panthers in the mix? Getting rid of them? Everyone seen Panthers here at the GF?
There's a big X right there.
Yeah, they'll be there.
Yeah, I think it'll be a Panthers and Broncos, eh?
Oh, I reckon it's Panthers Warriors final.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Respect, man.
I actually, I have a comparison for the Broncos this year. Is there I see their team? It's like the 2020 Panthers. So if they make the final, they won't win it. I think they're a team that got at least 1 to win one. In the Panthers case, they lost 1 and won 2, possibly 3. So I think because I look at the Broncos team, it's like they're all young, all whole bunch of young guys who've never played finals, or meaningful finals games like prelim or the grand final. They just got Adam Reynolds there. Other than him, I don't think anybody else has played finals apart from him and Capewell. So I think the Broncos. If I was the Broncos, I'll be prepared to take this L. This year, and then next year when they got the young guys coming through and through the system too, I think it'll be a different case. I think they're a year off. I think the Warriors are closer to winning the premiership this year than the Broncos.
Ooh. Well, I think if the Warriors make the grand final, like you said, they could beat you guys. And I think any one of Broncos and Warriors can beat you guys. Because I think the type of style you guys play, it still takes a special attack. And the Broncos are scary, bro, because they haven't even reached their full potential. They haven't really had much time with Reynolds. So once he gets back on the field during the finals, you watch These guys score tries that's undefendable, man. Just Walsh on the edges, bro. No one can keep up with him.
Well,
And
what
you got
I
some I think on the edges we'll take anyone apart, bro. We've got all these athletic speedsters like Stags, Herbie Farnworth, probably the best centre going around the comp, and our finishers, bro. Cobb pulls out things out of his hat that no one can do, bro. So I think those are the kind of teams that got the weaponry to beat the Panthers. So the Panthers, they're a bit of like an arm wrestle team, bro. They don't like to do anything too out of their box,
I
and
think it's a double-edged
just you never
sword.
know if
Go on.
I think the Panthers definitely, man. If you look at the stats, look at what the experts are saying, but I just think, bro, rugby league's still got enough room for a team that can just come and blow teams off the park with new systems or a new style of attacking.
I got to agree with you. So I think your boys are playing with a lot of confidence. Even though, man, I totally hate the Broncos, but I
Oh,
think
you and
yeah,
everyone
you
else.
play. I think yeah, the
The
boys,
team
man, that
that rugby
confidence is
league's
a
great when the Broncos are going great.
confidence is a big thing, man, and man, you can see it in the Bronx. They look like they've found their style of play. And even though it might be a bit unorthodox, but they they've been churning out the wins, bro, and getting some
Mm.
big wins at that as well. So um, I don't know about Herbie Farnworth turning around and shushing everyone. I think if it was one of our if one of our island boys,
Imagine
they
Luai
might
done
have
that,
said,
eh?
yeah,
Oi,
they would have
Harder,
said, oh,
harder.
arrogant. Look at him, he's
Yeah.
arrogant. But
After kicking
Herbie
someone in the
Farnworth,
face,
Well,
do
you
a
don't know what
moonwalk.
the opposition player was saying. He might have been saying something about his
oh, here
grandma
we,
or something. We don't know. The full
oh,
story there.
here we go.
All we know is that on performance, he's been the best centre
You're like, oh,
of
you
the
broke
whole
my
Yeah,
knuckle, you cut him
if
in
I
not
half.
close.
think I think he's a big loss for you guys next year. So
Yeah,
because
this is our window, bro. Right now, this year's our window, man.
I reckon the Broncos, the I can see it was a double-edged sword the way they attack, because if they get behind, they can either do too much or they can pull it back. Like they can come back from being done because they have that kind of deadly
Well, they
attack.
showed that. They've showed
Yeah.
they've come back from being under pressure. They're able to absorb it, be behind on the scoreboard, but still have that. People say about Walsh, there's an error in him, but for me, players will learn that, bro. I don't want to restrict them. I think just have a go if you think something's on. Everyone in that backline should be like sniffing his woolly like for an offload or a pass.
I see the Broncos. If they're down 14, they can come back from there, or they can be down 14 and then lose by 40. That's the kind of I
Well,
don't.
that hasn't happened this year, Tama. If you see on the scoreboard, mate.
I mean,
Well,
we
all
don't.
my Broncos here.
That's why
Well, four Broncos there. Well, four man now, man.
that's why I think the Warriors are kind of more steeled to make a run at the grand final. Only because I look at their forwards, tough, like grizzled veterans, and then you just got workhorses like
Well, what do you reckon,
Ford.
Tons? I think
I concur.
Warriors are
I concur.
2.0, like a better version on attack of what Panthers
Oh, nah.
are
If you
trying to
look at
do.
the buys, the
Tohu,
Bulldogs,
Tohu is the
Panthers
man.
2.0.
Chat it
Thank you
up.
very much.
But Tohu knows how to put Johnson on the outside, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And on
yeah.
attack, those guys do well. Better
I
than
think
yeah,
that's
hey,
what
he's that
we're.
anyone.
linky.
Mm-hmm.
He's like what's his name? Yo. What
Yeah.
Yo does at Panthers,
But
but
better.
I think he
Yeah.
does it. Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah, yeah.
think he
Yo
does it better.
skips across.
Mm.
Yeah,
And you just got to push up on D on the Panthers,
and I
Be
think
square.
with Yo, he's just got that one option. Like it's usually just that back door. But Yo, I think what works for him is he's played in the house before, so he's able to choose that right option, and I think that's what puts him ahead of Yo
Again, it comes back to
or
what Tom was
Harris.
saying, those backs. Because, man, like, it's one thing to go, oh, you just do what Queensland did, but that wasn't that same forward pack and those three backs that the Panthers have. And that's where Yogas gets so much time to run. I was watching that game, like, someone smashed him, and he's like running like 15 meters and he's got all the time in the world. So, yeah, I think that's what you got to kind of eliminate is that back three, because, man, they're just ripping teams apart. Um, nice, boys. That was the week that was an awesome round of footy. So much to wrap. Anything else during the week? Si, you had a few little grizzles, mate. You okay there?
Oh, nah, that's it. Nah, I got it up. I think. Well, I want to talk more about Latrell and his bad press, but I think for him, bro, just clean out the bullshit in his game, bro. Those
Yeah.
little cheap shots, and then he won't get these all volleys going on his DMs and taking it to another level in it.
Exactly. That's the thing. With the injuries and with the way the rabbits are running, do you think someone has to are they a winning team that goes, nah, we're gonna get back on the horse and finish out the season, or do you go, look, Latrell's not 100, we can try and push, but we might not make it. Do we reset for next year?
Nah, no way. Go for. They're still in the chance, bro. I think this is the chance for the line in the sand for him in his career, like to silence the, the criticism out there,
Mm.
bro, and just come out and win the game. You've lost your assistant coach. Everyone's not picking you.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, or at least have a good performance. Have a decent. Because when you say he's not as active as the other fullbacks. Sometimes people take that body language like he's not ripping in or having a go, but he is.
Yeah, yeah.
But, no, that was it. He gets the bad press, but he's got to clean up that bullshit
Mm.
first.
I think a lot
Little
of it's
mention.
unfair for him too, Latrell. I reckon the same way they. I'm not saying it is. There is, but there's gotta be some of it's gotta be like a underlying racism thing there with Latrell, bro. Because I
Yeah.
don't see anybody
Well, it's the
getting the
same with Lua.
coverage.
They kind of
Yeah,
go in
yeah.
on Latrell and Lua, and they
Yeah.
just even Cody
Well,
Walker
that's what I mean.
sometimes.
It doesn't take much for them
Yeah,
to jump on their behavior or anything they say or
exactly.
do.
Yeah, yeah. But then you get like guys like Karen Murray have like little things like
Yeah.
that and that. But they're these perfection guys that like, and they trying to wipe it off the table. So you get guys like, you think any guys like Carrigan, Karen Murray, those guys, they're pretty like Liam Martin. Nothing flies on those guys, but yeah, little things like these guys slip. These guys, you're paying them over $1 million. They got to do better.
Yeah.
Let's relax. Um, cool, boys. I just wanted to, before we move on, before we get into NRL draft, I don't really want to talk about it, but we'll jump there. But before we get into that,
Racist.
man, Fox Memorial Grand Final last weekend. Shout out to the Pt Chev Pirates taking that out against
Oh, man.
Henry. Shout out to
Oh,
Henry,
shout out
bro.
to Henry.
Unfortunate to your Bulldogs, bro, but man, the Pirates were up for it. They had James Gavitt
Garrett.
playing in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
The doggies bloody team, man.
For Richmond. Oh, wow. True.
It was a
Uh,
close game. Like
uh,
I watched the game and like the
did you
Bulldogs
get it
were
or
right.
did you watch it on stream?
Oh, I watched. We streamed it.
Bro, it's a
Oh,
good
watch it
streaming
on
service,
YouTube.
eh? It's
Yeah,
almost good
yeah,
as
yeah,
Sky,
yeah.
bro.
All the Auckland Rugby League games are streamed there. But I was watching it. I thought the Bulldogs were right in it until Gavitt got that
Came off.
yeah, until he was yellow carded. I didn't think there was anything in that, bro. They should have just let them play on. But
What happened?
oh,
Head high?
nah, like they had a little scuffle, him and the winger. There's nothing really too bad. There's little slaps to the head, and then they both got sin binned. And then when they got sin binned, that's when uh the Pirates scored heaps of their tries. Or like
Oh, yeah.
they put in like 3 tries when he was off.
Oh, congrats, man.
But they were
Punch
up early, though.
Pirates.
The Pirates were good. Like Dylan Tavita, I didn't know him before the game. He was solid. Yeah, number 13.
And
Kelly's son was in there.
Presley Samanu.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I was going to ask, how did Achilles,
Yeah, he did
Achilles
all
go,
right.
man?
Yeah, he
Starting
was.
second row, eh?
Yeah, yeah, he's all right on D. He's there around the ball.
He's a unit, eh?
Yeah, yeah, bro. He's quite big.
Nice.
Yeah. That's when you see him on the field against other players. You kind of know the size. Like, man, he's a big boy.
He's one to look for, eh? One to look
Yeah,
for,
yeah,
man, to
because he
come up the
came from
ranks.
Union and then switched to League. So
Presley.
yeah, yeah. Get on the Pirates. Good work, boys. Hopefully we'll get Henry on. Come and talk to us about the Auckland rugby season, the league season for them, and his plans and his insights into league. All right, boys. I'm gonna leave you two to wrap this. I don't know how this final made a final for the NRL draft, mate. We got the Vaea Bronx taking on Samoan Mandingo with I don't know what this looks like. Dragons versus Bulldogs lineup. I had it
So,
as Night Sharks, but I'm looking again at these teams, mate, and
I had a good
These are
look.
definitely not Roosters Cowboys kind of lists here.
I had a good look, and I think it was a bit of a good. I think the top two teams made it through, considering how we played it. Like Tama stayed loyal to a few of his players, bro, from game one.
Call me Billy
Um,
Bean, Moneyball baby.
Yeah,
I just got a lot of the unheralded backs
mate.
and some people who I thought would like. I picked up McInnes again once I saw Finucane out because I knew once Finucane's out, he's going to pick up those 13 minutes. And he's been scoring well for me. Captain him a
Papa
few
Lee
times.
scoring well for you.
Yeah.
But
Bateman.
I seen that the turn of your season once you had old Ponga and the backs there.
Yeah,
He's scoring mean for you, bro.
I drafted him. I saw he was a dual position. And I thought he would be good. And then for the first 14 rounds, he stunk up the league. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
he matched the time that the Knights go on a run, and he's been doing really well for me. I also picked up Drinkwater, who I think is another one.
If I look at our lineups, I think Coruscant should score more than you. I think my forwards you got McInnes, Horsburgh, Radley, Bateman, Papali'i. And I got Asofa Solomona, Carrigan, Twal, Ricky, and Frizzell. So I think for me, it's going to come down to the outside backs.
Like I said, George, the Bulldogs versus the Dragons.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Very lackluster teams. As much as this guy tried to sound excited about his
shit.
lineup.
I got Edwards. I got some breaking news. Edwards might be out this game.
Yeah, I can see a big cross on Edwards, mate. You're struggling
so I
without
might have
Reynolds
to do some
in there.
last minute. See what's left at the agency.
Fire sale.
But I think it's Mandingo's to lose, bro. I think mine depends on how the Sharks go. Nico Hines got to score big for me.
I think any team with Nico Hines should be the favourite.
Exactly.
Only because he is the
Nah,
You got
McInnes,
fantasy
you
scorer.
got Dylan Brown scores big for you. You should make him your captain.
Oh, yeah. I pretty much sit and forget with McInnes because
This must be the first sub 600 final I've ever seen.
you know what it was. You know what I really think got me inside to the final is because we managed the buys the best out of everyone this year, because that was the real difference in fantasy this year was who could manage the buys.
Like, I mean, I saw Roger have like 9 mainly players in his team at one stage. It was just totally ridiculous. Because the buy game, he was.
Well, he's a special sort, that guy, mate.
No, but yeah, bro. That's been good. I took the minor premiership, so this is 50-50 Eels.
Yeah.
No, all the best results. Good luck to both these.
Yeah, all the best, boys. All right, boys. Last 2 rounds of the season. Let's get a bet on. All right. Panthers, Eels. Straightforward on this one. Eels are done.
Panthers. Yep.
Eels already on their way to Mad Monday, mate, making their plans. Warriors. Oh,
I reckon Eels.
Ooh, is this your loss?
Yeah.
Is this your loss? You don't want to lose this and then lose to the Cowboys.
Nah. I reckon they'll lose.
Okay.
How do you discuss that? Is that a planned thing? Is that a
then
Cleary
makes
the call, or
Broncos going to go minor premiership, and then you're going to change the whole outlook of your finals, bro. You guys will lose to the Warriors game 1 of first week.
I think they've got it planned. Edwards is probably not injured. You know, this is part of the rest. Kind of.
You heard it here first, Tons.
Yeah, man. Look at that.
They lose this game, then they play Warriors first week. Could be a loss.
Loss at home, mate. You guys got to go play again, back to back.
All right.
Okay.
Broncos got no Reynolds until the finals, so.
What we've done it before.
Oh.
Stop trying to bring in the team. It sounds like you're fifth here, mate.
Oh, never.
All right, another Friday home game sold out. I missed out on tickets. Warriors, Dragons. They seen this, George? Any different Warriors? Anyone picking the Dragons with us?
I think Dragons might give them a scare, but I think Warriors will win the end, get them comfortably. They're outside. Well, they're massive favourites for that game, and I think this guarantees them a home. Or if they do get to second, I mean, given they lose game one, week one, this will guarantee them
life. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this cements their spot in the top four and gives them that home semi that second week if they lose.
Up the was.
Yeah, Dragons being following on there. Gonna make some injuries here.
Nah, they're done. Warriors should smash them.
All right, Cowboys for their season. I think this and then that Panthers game at the end against the Dolphins. Anyone seeing the Dolphins getting up for this?
Well, I gotta stay true now. I picked them in my predictor, so Cowboys to go 2-0.
You need to go
Dolphins and Penrith.
I think Dolphins gonna be Faleanga Mea. They'll be
true.
I agree.
They're gonna do it this round.
Hey, hating on the Cowboys now. This must be a New South Wales, Queensland thing.
All right, the Storm solidifying their 8 against the Titans. Titans are done. Mathematically, they're done. Anyone seeing them getting up for this?
Nah. Storm for me.
Nice.
I'll go against. I think the Titans will get up. From what I saw last week, they had nothing to lose in the last week.
I think you're just pulling out Eda's predictions.
You've been short on finances. You're trying to make this multi a bit bigger.
I'm telling you, if the
where are you getting these odds from?
This guy's trying to get the multiplier up there. You know, my TAB thing stops after so many. It's like, there's a call by bit. You can't do that bit, bro.
if the Titans that played the Panthers turn up, and the Storm that played the Dragons turn up, the Titans, they're in with a shout. And I reckon, looking at them, their team is stacked, bro. There's no reason that they can't.
Yeah, you don't know. Foreign's back in for this game.
Foreign's back.
Okay, that's a beginning.
Yeah,
okay.
And they got their young Tom Weaver at halfback.
They got him smashed. That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Someone's going for all the Whaleanga Mea teams. The Roosters, Tigers. So Tama, we're hitting the multiplier on this one too, mate.
I'm not trying to be contrarian, but I reckon
next better, bro.
The Tigers they are gonna play ruin.
This guy just wants to do a 5-cent bet to try and make 1,000.
I'm telling you, this could be the weekend of upsets. I reckon the Tigers.
They're cool. These don't make it matter. In the biggest.
They're on form. They won one.
I reckon the Tigers.
Roosters for me. Roosters. Too much firepower, bro.
This guy was
You're missing out on money there, boys.
Might have to take 2 bets of this guy's youths falling on there.
That's a $1 multi. There
what about this? Is this the Broncos need to drop a game, Mesa? Is this Broncos Raiders? Is the one.
Nah, no way. This is the start of we're going to take it to the next level now. Even though without Reynolds.
Raiders at home, though.
I think they won't count for nothing against us. I think the bye's been good break. And you'll see us go to the next levels.
You know, Dylan Brown touching during your guys' break, mate. Everyone behaving during the break. We don't have to go into camp and check what everyone was up to.
Kiwi's
Ezra and Payne Haas all good. They didn't have to go different places.
He's cleaned that
hotels.
See what Kiwi's signed him up. He should be given Coach of the Year, if you ask me, mate.
But I love the press conference watching Kiwi. He just watches Reynolds talk like, oh man, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Every time when Reynolds is talking, you just see Kevin just look over, just admiration, like, man, that's clever,
exactly. He just puts the right people in the right places, mate. People management.
Sweating this week with no Reynolds. Now he has to actually try and coach. I reckon no Reynolds, no chance.
We've won every game with
Raiders though. Raiders is that dark horse team.
They're done, bro. They're done.
Oh,
they're done.
Raiders are done.
Stuart's gonna have another whinge at the conference about bad calls, but I think it's 40 plus to the Broncos.
Whoa. George, you still on this Broncos bandwagon? You believe in this hype? The tea leaves in Brisbane strong there, mate.
No way. I think Raiders will win this one.
Hey, Raiders. The Raiders.
Broncos. This is going to be the game that Broncos drop.
This is the one we drop before we get to the final.
Before you
you called us for the final.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, this will be your one game you drop before you set off to the finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and the rounding us out, Manly Doggies. George, you got a multi on us. You're gonna hit the multiplier as well, is it?
Hey, Doggies by 40.
Oh, yeah. Might as well pull out some miracles this week. Why not?
Why not?
Tama, you staying with the underdogs this week?
Come on, Tama.
Yeah. Who's the underdog?
Oh, you've made outrageous calls.
You got Manly and
you might as well carry on.
Playing 15th. The Manly and the Bulldogs.
How can you have underdogs if both teams are gale?
Exactly. There's a nice Sunday afternoon game. You guys can moe after your kongai and then wake up for the Sharks and Knights later.
I'll back the Dogs. I reckon they'll get it done, bro.
Dogs, damn. Sorry.
Bro, I might jump on the wagon too. I just want to point out for Roger and Cam's that Manly's been the biggest build-ups. Like, so much talent, eh? Yeah. And like I backed them heaps, and it's disappointed me, man. So just for that, I'm gonna go Doggies and upset.
And they dropped Schuster, eh?
Yeah. Just has been dropped.
$800,000 player on the sideline there.
Playing New South Wales Cup this week.
Yeah.
He's got to have a good preseason, otherwise he's going to be the next one.
The New South Wales Cup. Finishing it out. Both these teams, everyone had them in their 8, Sharks and Knights. This just changed positions. I have got the Knights winning this to solidify them at 5th for the run home.
Yeah, same one with you, bro.
Yep, I reckon that's a good call. Knights.
Yeah, I had Knights finishing 5th, so this is the game they get up, and I think they'll stay there.
Sharp boys, man, it is getting exciting. 2 more weeks, then the season is done. Man, it's been exciting to look forward to it, but now you get close to the end, it's just going to be goodbye for that summer season with no league. Sharp boys, any final thoughts? Anything you guys want to put out there?
Nah, bro. Thanks for having me, Usos.
Yeah.
Thank you,
boys. Up the Bronx.
Shop for jumping on, George. Sorry about your Doggies, bro.
That's alright, Us. But I'll jump on the wires for the rest of the year. That's us, Uso.
It's alright, we've got another review coming for the Manly and the Eels, boys. All of you guys with your Mad Monday coming.
I think we started as a month ago.
I think so too. I think everyone can see it. Shop boys. All right, check us out on the website, everyone, WesWesNet.com. You'll be able to find all our other podcasts on there. Vic, check it. Shop boys.
Thank you, brothers.
Up the wires.